Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I want to talk about my experience migrating from Nigeria to North America and how my English was not Englishing enough. I know a number of us has been in this shoe, and some actually didn't do well coping with that challenge, as it were. And so I thought that sharing my experience will not only help the newcomers, but also help the older ones who may still need this piece of advice and experience. The truth is that sometimes it's even difficult to understand what the problem is. Some ends up saying, oh, they don't like me, they're discriminating against me, without necessarily identifying the root cause of the problem. So guys, are you in this category? Is your English not Englishing enough? Are you struggling to blend into your new community? Then you may have to listen to this session. Thank you for joining me. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Let YouTube spread my video more so we can together grow this channel, whereby we learn and thrive together. So let's go. Yes, your English may not be Englishing enough. If I'm to speak my English the way I will speak it with my mother tongue, I think many people will even wonder what I'm saying. But the truth is that I come from Nigeria, and Nigeria, our official language is English. Now, that English is British English. And initially, I didn't quite know that there's so much difference between British English, American English, and so on. But it's glaring. No wonder some countries will say you need to show that you have English, evidence of English language before you can come, like Canada, US sometimes, depending on the program you're coming to, and so on. The truth is that those ones you write as an exam is never really the same when it comes to speaking it. So I'll give us a few examples before I go in. Now, coming from the British English background, so many words I found them to be so different, and you really have to learn them. For instance, in America here, you have what we call French fries. If you don't know what it is, you'll be wondering what are they talking about. In Nigeria and a typical British English setting, it's chips. So if you go to some eateries and you're saying French chips, I want to buy chips, some may be wondering what you're talking about. The other one is apartment. In America, we call them apartment. In Nigeria, in Britain, we will call them flats. Those little differences makes people either think your English is not Englishing enough, or some are simple things like spelling. And I'll give you an instance as it relates to me in my professional setting. We deal a lot with catalog. In the British setting, in Nigerian setting, I will spell catalog as CATALOGUE. But in the American setting, I'm supposed to spell it as CATALOG, log. You wonder how those little differences makes it look so difficult, makes blending into the system become so difficult for people. I will say another example. Another example is garbage. In America, it's garbage. In my country, it's rubbish. And that's correct English. So when you go to a setting, the first thing you do is try to, understand where you are, begin to pick on those little differences. A few more differences that makes me laugh sometimes is cookies for American and biscuit for, British. You also have parking lots and car park, pants and trousers. Yeah, this is major for me because you hear, when I came to the America, I used to hear pants. What we call pants in Nigeria is those smaller inner things we wear before the trouser. But here, your trouser is your pants. I don't know what we call the other one, but that's the way it is. Okay? And so on and so forth. But these little differences sometimes makes it look like we're struggling to blend into the system. The other major thing is the accent. The way we say it sometimes makes it look like, oh, you don't know English. In fact, there are sometimes you're speaking English, the way they'll be looking at you, you'll be wondering, am I speaking in tongues? You'll be wondering. You'll be in a team, you make contribution, and everywhere is dead quiet, like, is either they didn't understand your English, your English is not Englishing enough, or you're talking rubbish. And there is no way you will be able to verify either. So it leaves you struggling many times. Now, how did I survive this? Or how have I survived? Because I won't say that I'm fully... You can see from my accent, you will see that I still speak my own thick English. At the end, if I have time, I'm going to speak one typical English in Nigeria for you to understand. One of the ways I have coped is first to be at home with my own accent. Yes, I have to. I don't try to pretend about it. Yes, I may be able to lighten my tongue a bit if I feel like people are struggling to hear me. I also say it as many times as possible, trying my best to make sure that people that I'm dealing with are understanding me. So working on my communication skills, any effort that I need to slow down, be more concise, practice being clearer in what I'm saying, and so on, so that people that I'm dealing with will be able to understand. Also, I try to make my team give me feedback, and I also try to share some of my frustration so they understand, because sometimes they don't even understand what you're going through. So when you share your frustration, when you share the challenges, then it gives room for them to be able to support you. So I tell my team to give me feedback. This my comment. Is it that are you struggling to understand what I mean? Should I rephrase? Should I interpret it differently? And all that. And that will be able to help. That has helped me. The other one is, I find people who can mentor me, who I rely on. I can ask them. Even if I don't say it in the team, I have pals from my church, from, other fellowship online groups that I have developed relationship with. Even on my social media, I know one of the English professors recently was telling me, oh, you said this, it meant that in American setting. And I was like, what? Because that's not what I meant. So I try to get anyone that I become, comfortable with providing feedback, because it's a continuous learning process. It's difficult to change my tongue, my accent. Not to say that I can, because sometimes when I'm even speaking English with my mom, or where my mom is there, she will say you speak like American. But I know I don't. It's simply because I'm trying to lighten my tongue a bit so that people will be able to understand me. Now, my advice to new immigrants or people who have been struggling with this, some has already concluded that they're being biased, is, you know, all those big names that we don't want to talk about. What I will encourage you to do is as follows. Number one, I want you to be patient, be persistent. Over time, people who you work with will tend to understand you more. The more you interact with people, the better their ability to understand you. Remember, if it's in workplace, they interviewed you and they felt you're qualified. So they want the best from you. So give it time. Be persistent, be patient. Deploy all manner of communication skill, the best of it. Don't change who you are. Yes. Be proud of your asset. They will learn it. Over time, you see they say, oh, when I work with this Nigerian, oh, when I work with this Ghanaian, they know this various asset. But you have to be persistent. Focus on your strengths. What is it that you're best at? Do it. Find a way to bond with the team that you're dealing with. And when you have bonded, it's about building relationship. When you have bonded well with them, over time you see that there's nothing like your asset. Everyone will begin to hear you and understand you. Stay very positive. Don't waver. Don't begin to enter your shell. Relate, talk. When you talk and it's like they don't understand, talk again. They will understand you. Be confident when you're talking. There is this power in confidence. So when you're confident of what you're saying, if they don't understand you, that confidence is radiating and they will rather ask you. It will come with time. Build a support system, support network. There are friends that we used to make fun of ourselves, you know, how our English is not English enough, you know, and it helps you. Build a support network that can tell you, oh, this one, how best do I pronounce it? You know, practice. Practice with your good support system and it will help. Now, it's not enough to struggle through the system alone and begin to only advise immigrants on how to adapt. I think I'll be doing some injustice if I don't advise people who these immigrants are coming to be with. Locals, I can call them. I mean, if you're in America, you're a native of America, so you will understand what I'm talking about. When you have people come newly to join you, there are things you can do to make life easier for them. And one of them is acceptance. You need to know that people come from different backgrounds. Know a little bit about them. There are so many Americans that have never crossed American border. So if you don't study, if you don't try to get more information to know about people from different, globe, part of the globe, you will be living in a small world. The world has become a global village, and it makes sense that you who is here and others are coming to you, you want to understand them and you'll be able to relate better with them. For instance, I'm from Nigeria. I said it before and again. Nigeria, we have our mother tongue, which is not English. So, be kind. Show some empathy. Understand that there is struggle in relocation. It's not an easy journey. It's not for the faint. Trust me. I can almost challenge you that if you come to Nigeria, your struggle will not only be with English, but with other local languages. When you go to the market, a Malam will say, Inakwana, you don't know what that means. It's not English, which means we have several layers of struggle for you in terms of communication. So be empathic when you see newcomers, okay? Be respectful. Even when you know that you didn't get them, don't make them look stupid, because nobody is stupid. Nobody should be treated as being stupid. Be respectful. When you're trying to ask them to repeat, say it in a very respectful manner, not in a way that makes it look like anybody is stupid. Ask for clarity. Politely ask, what do you mean? I understood this. Is that what you meant? Just try to paraphrase so that they will be able to help. Don't avoid the assumption and stereotyping people. No. Some people, because they had met people from this side of the world, whoever they met from that side is as stupid as whoever they had met before. No, don't stereotype anybody. Try to focus on the content of what they're saying. In that way, it will help you understand. And like I had told the newcomers, when they are reading your lips, also try to read their lips. There is this way you can hear a dumb or deaf person, because you can read the lips and you will understand. It's a natural skill, but it's only applicable when you want to. Okay? Encourage open communication, especially if you're their supervisors. Encourage open communication, a place where people should be free to ask questions and not feel bad, trying to ask questions because they are afraid people will say they don't know anything. Also offer whatever support that is available. Don't wait for them to ask. Most times when we find ourselves in an environment where we feel like they are not supportive, people tend to go into their shell and they will not be able to contribute. The truth is that you will not get the best out of them if anybody is feeling that way. So you try to pull them out, create a support system for them, and so on. Be open-minded. Trust me, when you're open-minded, over time, you will really not even know when they begin to speak like Americana, if I must say. Yes, you will suddenly realize that their English is becoming English. It's no longer when their English is not Englishing. Trust me. I know that the world has turned into a global space. The advantage of younger ones relocating is easier because they can, switch their accent. And because of the global community, some of these differences are no longer very sharp, like garbage and rubbish and apartment and flat. It's easy for people who have mingled with others to understand it. And that's why I encourage that everybody should try as much as possible, to understand others. Go a little bit beyond what you know, things around you, and think about what others know. The truth is that there are so many skills, there are so many knowledges on tap because people come into a setting and they feel not accepted just because they have accent, just because someone thinks that their English is not Englishing enough. And for people who come in and go into their shell, don't go into your shell. You have something that they want in the new system. If not, why are you here? Yes, something brought you. So you're not going to be fulfilled until you impact on that society positively. So don't shy away from it. In my church, I read Bible. I'm one of the lay readers. I don't care what my accent is. I believe they will hear me over time. In my workplace, I try to communicate and reason. It may not be all easy, but I know it gets better with time. It's getting better for me, and I know it will continue to get better. So yes, despite the challenges, I must tell you that until we all accept that the current world is a global community and we're all here to benefit from each other, if we just try a bit to accommodate with one another, be empathic, be cooperating with one another and all that, just name it. There are so many ways we can be better and stronger with each other. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. With this community, we're actually trying our best to thrive together, to grow together, to make the world a better place. Once again, thank you and see you in my next video.